Cody, calm down. Come on, Cody. Man, all right, dude. So, chill out. I know you're in a spot with the Dark Order, and you don't have an Exalted one, and you've hinted at a bunch of stuff, but I don't care how big the pop's going to be. I'm not going to be the Exalted one for the Dark Order, brother. Yeah. I get it. No, I get the pop. I understand what you're saying. Only the biggest YouTube celebrity in the nation would get that kind of pop. Oh, yeah. By the way, you tell Nick and Matt that money they gave me when I took it to the bank said that shit was fake. Yeah. Yeah, so you wait till I see Nick and Matt again. Uh-huh. Next time, pay me in real money. All right. Yeah. No, not going to do it either. All right, Cody. Good luck tonight. What's up, Nerd Nation? It's your boy, Trey. Everybody wave at Kev as we drive off past him. Just had a fantastic lunch. Getting stuff Dunskies. Had kind of a light day today, to be honest with you guys. We had some bad weather roll through this morning, so I was a little skeptical about recording in my truck because it was raining so heavy. I wanted to be safe, number one. I didn't want to be recording while it was raining real heavy and whatnot. So I waited till a little bit later in the day to do some recording. But it's been a good day. It's been a very good day. So it's a wild Wednesday. We're not going to do any Funko Pop hunting today. I apologize for people that were looking forward to the Funko Pop hunting. But with the weather, it looks like it's starting to sprinkle again. Possibly going to get some more weather here in a little bit. Just wanted to give y'all an update. Let y'all know what the heck is going on in the world. Not necessarily the world, but the professional wrestling world. So we've had a couple of major events last week and last weekend. We haven't got a chance to really talk about them. Figured this would be a good time to get into some Super Showdown. And that mess, yes, the mess that was WWE Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia, as well as AEW Revolution. This past Saturday they had their first pay-per-view of the century. That's how they build it. I thought that was pretty cool. But Super Showdown happened last Thursday, and I tell you what, I don't know if it's because the WWE is scared of AEW, and so they're doing some things to kind of add some shock value to what's going on with their product. But why? And this is my biggest complaint, right? Like, yeah, the whole thing. And Saudi's a big money market for WWE because they just pay them a lot of money to come and do a show in Saudi. And so, there you go. It's big money. It's a big money market. They're going to do what they want. They always bring in some legends. They did set up some WrestleMania stuff. But the biggest head scratcher, and you can go online and you can read all the stuff, and it's everywhere. Why would you pull the title off of a character that you've worked so hard to build in Bray Wyatt and The Fiend and put it on Oldberg? And yes, I called him Oldberg, to set up a WrestleMania match with Roman Reigns, which, let's be honest, Roman Reigns is going to take the title off of Oldberg. Kind of predictable, because that doesn't really make a lot of sense. To have Oldberg carrying your title. Okay. Whatever, WWE. Are you that scared of what AEW is doing that you have to make some drastic moves like that? There's a lot of question marks with some of the decision making that has gone on with WWE. And I get it. I mean, and they're setting up. There was the big Undertaker thing where he showed up and won a trophy that, I don't know, I thought they called it like a Tibet trophy, but I have no idea what the name of that trophy was. But it was super prestigious, apparently. No. It was a trophy that they made up. It was not super prestigious. And why would the Undertaker even give two craps about that trophy with what he's accomplished in his career? So we know that they're setting up AJ Styles versus the Taker at WrestleMania. Now we know we're going to get Big Dog Roman Reigns, who they've pushed down our throats, and Oldberg, which maybe that's the only way to get Roman Reigns over, is to put him against Oldberg after a controversial win over the Fiend. And then you're setting up John Cena versus the Fiend at WrestleMania. So Super Showdown set up some WrestleMania stuff, but all in all, big thumbs down. Out of the 3 ranking system we do, gets a 0. It's terrible. Most of the Saudi shows aren't very good. This one's a 0. Sorry, Saudi. The crowd even looked like they weren't into it. They were not enjoying the show y'all put on. So, straight up 0. That was garbage. Complete and total waste of a trip, other than the fact that Vince McMahon brought back bags and bags and bags and bags of money, cash money. So, there's that. My thoughts on Super Showdown is they should just scrap doing the crap in Saudi. They shouldn't be going back there. Doesn't make sense. They're making knee-jerk reactions to storylines, and they are not really helping progress their brand very much. So I'm not 100% sure what is going on. Paul, aka Trips, get the old man and get him out of Saudi. That is not doing anything for you. Now, secondly, I'm going to give that whatever. Super Showdown's done. It's a 0. No need to watch it. You've seen the highlights. You've heard everything on Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown after the Saudi show. You've heard everything. You know what they're doing. It's a 0. It was terrible. There's no replay value. There's no watch value. It was garbage. It was a garbage pay-per-view in the middle of the day on a Thursday. So, garbage. Terrible job. Get your head out of your ass, WWE. It was awful. Which brings me to Saturday. And the opposite of awful, AEW. Now, everybody had speculated that we were getting a new champion. Le Champion was dropping the title. There's been a bunch of speculation because of Fozzie's tour schedule that Jericho would not be able to make as many TV appearances as he needed to as your AEW champion. It was a good call. So they pulled the title off and gave it to Moxley. Good job, WWE. You let that guy walk. And he's done nothing but freaking blow up the web in AEW. So it's Wednesday. We get AEW tonight, AEW Dynamite, and I'm super excited to sit down and watch that because I'm interested to see how Moxley comes out as the champion and what he does, because they've kind of done some really cool things with Mox being anti-establishment. Now he's carrying your belt. Some good storylines there. Secondly, AEW is only putting on 4 pay-per-views a year. And this is a drastic change from what WWE is doing, putting on 1 a month, which is 12 pay-per-views a year. This gives them time to develop storylines. And we saw a fantastic storyline between Omega and Hangman Page versus the Young Bucks, which I really thought Young Bucks would probably get their hands on the titles. I think that that's definitely where they want to take that, and it didn't happen. Hangman Page, Kenny Omega retained the titles. They still can continue the story that they're telling so well on TV of the dissension between the Elite, Kenny Omega going back and forth between both groups, and Hangman Page kind of being an odd man out. And they've done a good job with that. And I see that continuing, and it was a smart move. They did a really good job. Last highlight I want to talk about, this doesn't break down every match on the card. This is my high points of AEW, is the pop that we got for the debut of Colt Cabana. Indie star, another indie star that they've signed, somebody that I think that they're going to do really big things with, make a lot of things happen, and that is Mr. Cabana, Colt Cabana himself. Good to see him make his debut on AEW programming. They saved it. They put him in a good spot. I thought it worked well. Crowd pop was outstanding, and I look forward to seeing hopefully more from Colt Cabini coming up in AEW's weekly television. Now, still, every time I talk about AEW, the lowest point on AEW programming is the lack of emphasis on the women's division. And it was no different at the Revolution pay-per-view. The worst match of the whole pay-per-view was Chris Statlander and Nyla Rose. And I think you've got a lot of potential with both of those ladies' characters and storylines, as well as with Big Swole and Dr. Britt Baker. Y'all just can't figure out a way to put together a good storyline. And a storyline that has some depth and extends, and you've done very well in the men's division and even the tag team division, in elevating the tag team division, and even, you know, the storyline between MJF and Cody Rhodes has been fantastic. But you gotta figure out how to make the women more involved. The women's division for AEW is and has been a low spot since you went on weekly episodic TV. So Kenny Omega, I have no idea what you're doing. I have no idea what you're thinking. I think that you're supposed to be in charge of the women's division, and you're not doing a very good job, because the storylines are flat out garbage. You need to do something. You know, Tony Khan, you're the money behind this. Your programming is great, minus your women's division. Pretty dadgum simple. Figure out a way to make the women's division worth something. You're getting killed by WWE's women's division, but you're smashing them in the tag team division and in storylines and in everything else. The only negative I have about AEW is the fact that they can't figure that part of the programming out. So, figure it out. That's all I'm saying. From a fan's standpoint, figure it out. Rating wise, you know, AEW Revolution continued some storylines. It hopefully tied up some storylines, finished some up. You had a very good title change with Mox and Mr. John Moxley. And it helps Jericho go do his thing with Fozzy because of their touring dates. So it's very well thought out, well planned, well executed. If you haven't watched it, I would suggest it. I'm going to give it a 3, even though the women's division is the failing part of it. I would give it a 3. Get out there and watch as much of the AEW Revolution pay-per-views you can, because there were some great moments and some great spots. But with that being said, family, it's been a quick little Wednesday video from your boy Trey to all of you out there in viewer land. Thank you again for your support. I couldn't do this without y'all watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, all of that stuff that you hear in every YouTube video. So thank you. I couldn't do this without y'all. So I appreciate it. And guess what, fam? We'll see y'all again real soon.